Hi, guys, and welcome to Momentum Podcast. I am your host, Medina, and I am here with the stunning Flora, known as Rita Flora on TikTok. She is a beauty, lifestyle, and just overall fashionista that we all look up to. She is big sis. She's beautiful sis. She is stunning sis. So we are here to discuss about the fear of being perceived. And because my sis here has been on her content creation journey for a while now, I'm just here to take tips. I'm here to learn from you, honestly, because you've been about it, and I'm just here to be like, teach us and inspire us as well, because obviously you've been, aware of your journey, and like I want to know what's been going on. So, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm
Yes.
good. Sorry if I sound ill. Yeah, hay fever's got me down, so
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
No, we'll be sending prayers and thoughts.
Thank you.
So, right, today I just wanted to say, like, just take us back to who you are,
hmm
like, what's your journey been like with content creation? Why
hmm
did you start? And
hmm
like, yeah, how's it? What would you like for it to be overall, like
hmm
in like 5 years, or how you'd like it
hmm
to scale?
So thank you for that amazing intro. Like no one's ever introduced me like that before, so thank you.
Right.
So I started content creating. Gosh, when did I start? I started taking content creating seriously in 2023.
Okay.
So I just back in 2022, I would go on holiday or I'd wear an outfit and then I'd just take like a video of it and then post it.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that, people started following me and I was like, oh, okay. So people like the way I dress. Um, and then one of my friends back in 2023, he approached me. He's a football talent manager, but he's previously like managed like musicians and things like that. And he was considering doing like influencer management. And I remember around that time, I probably had about 3,000 followers. And he was like, "Oh, I've noticed that you've started posting like a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
What if you actually properly took this seriously and started being consistent and had a strategy behind like what you're doing?"
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know, I was just in it for
Mm,
fun.
yeah.
And then he was like, "No, I really feel like you've got potential to do this properly. Um,
Okay.
would you like me to manage you, or would you be
Oh
happy
my
for me to
God.
like test out managing you?"
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
I was like, "Sure, go on then." So
yeah.
he was fantastic because he was pretty much all of the brains behind it around like how consistently I'd post. He was the
Mm,
person that started telling me speak. He was like, speak, like we are all friends with
mm,
you because you're such a yapper and you say the
mm.
most random things. He was like, I just know if you started speaking, that's what would really do it for you. But I was like, I don't want to speak. I don't. What I
Okay.
really wanted to do, I just wanted to take the videos of my outfit with the
Uh-huh.
camera hiding my face.
Uh-huh.
No one would even know it's me. Do my little
Yeah.
holiday dump and then call it a day. And then he was
Yeah.
like, no, speak. You need to speak. And then I did one video where I think I literally just went and got my nails done and then went to
Mm-hmm.
Primark after. I
Mm-hmm.
did one video and the video did so well. And like he
Mm-hmm.
forced me to do a voiceover and I hated it. I did not want to post it at all. But he was like, no, 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 just post it. Even if you get 2 likes, at least then you've tested it. The
Mm.
video did so well. And I was like, seriously, people are interested in me getting my nails done and then going to
Mm.
Primark. And then
Yeah.
after that, I just started posting a little bit more, started doing like a day in my life, and then work actually because I 9 to 5 I work in cybersecurity. They wanted to do
Mm.
a video on me as a
Mm-hmm.
black woman in cybersecurity. I think it was either for Black History Month or Cyber Awareness. They're both the same month. It was for
Yeah.
one of those two. And then I did like a little vlog about them coming to film me. And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden people started getting even more interested. And I was like, oh, people are actually really
Wow.
interested in
Oh
what I
my
do.
God.
And to
Yeah.
me, I'm so boring.
No,
Like,
facts. Because I feel like me starting this journey of podcasting, I've
hmm
been like, even saying like, I don't know if I'm actually making sense when I'm talking to
hmm
people,
hmm
or like, is anyone gonna really like me
hmm
or hear my
hmm
point of view?
hmm
Um, and obviously hearing you, everyone kind of says that same rhetoric is
yeah.
like, I don't know if people are gonna like me, or I don't know if they're what I'm
If they'll
saying is
be
of
interested.
value or
Yeah.
interesting or like
Yeah.
anything like that. But I don't know. You kind of like you had made a small audience, because 3,000 is big, by the way, for a lot of people. But at the time, because now you're like far, at the time it was like small. So with that audience, what made you then say, do you know what, like, I'm not gonna let, let's say, fear or whatever was holding you back from that moment when you're like, I just don't want to show my face, or I just want to show my outfits and not speak? What made you be like, I don't want to do that, basically?
That I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
So I just started testing different things. Like my first chatty get dressed with me. When I look back at it, it makes me feel sick because I'm so shy. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, like I can see the camera there. Whereas like compared to now, I forget the camera's there. Like it's like my friend.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
like then I was proper looking at the camera like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
But it was more so, it was support from people around me.
Okay.
So like my friend that was managing me, he was so supportive of everything I was doing. My cousin, she's my biggest cheerleader. She's my biggest cheerleader. And she, like, anything I put out there, she'd be like, oh my God, this is so great. And I'm like, is it, guys? Is it really?
Facts. Like, when I literally did my first video, I was like, come on, it's not that great. And I'm having people like, no, it's really good. It's really good. I'm like, come on. Like,
Exactly.
I know you guys like me,
Yeah,
but are other people going to like me?
This is it. I'm like, you lot are my friends and family. You are going to say that. You're
you
going to
have
say it's so
If
great.
you didn't say that, then come on now. It wouldn't make no sense. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So the fact that you transitioned, you had your strategist friend to help you. Do you feel like that? Obviously, for me, it sounds like that was a really key element to you then saying, I'm going to speak on camera. I'm going to post consistently. What do you say for someone that doesn't have that friend?
So if you don't have that friend and if you want to pursue like content creation and stuff, you kind of just need to, what I've been saying to myself this year is my word is my bond. So if I say I'm going to do something, because child, I'm so lazy sometimes, I'll tell myself I'm going to do my 10K steps and then I won't do it. So now every time I start feeling that way, I say out loud, your word is your bond, and then I'll get up and go and do it. So if you've said that that's what you want to do, there's a reason. There's a reason that you want to do it. There's a reason that is within you. I feel like God places ideas in your head for a reason. Apparently Michael Jackson, whenever he had an idea, he'd act on it straight away.
Yeah,
because he felt that Prince would.
He didn't want Prince to get it because, oh my God, when I say, like, Gable said the same thing, I was like,
I love that so much. And whoever your prince is, I don't know who my prince is, but like, see your prince as yourself. Like, you don't want that idea to leave your head and then it goes to somebody else. Because I always say there's a reason that ideas come to you. So if it is that content creation is in your head and that you feel like, oh, this is something that I want to do, stick to it. Say to yourself, okay, consistency doesn't necessarily mean you post every single day. It's up to you what your consistency means. So if you've said to yourself, I'm going to post on TikTok 3 times a week, set those days and make sure you stick to those days and just keep putting content out there, and eventually you'll get to a point where, like, make sure it's still fun. That's the main thing.
Because it becomes a drag. I feel like even with, obviously I'm at the beginning stages, but like for people that I've watched over time, they have had this like feeling of like, this is becoming jarring now. Do you know what I mean? Where I don't feel like I'm enjoying it because it's about the metrics, or it's about the fact that other people are winning and like you don't see your own win, and it's like, oh, for how long am I going to be patient? Do you know what I mean?
And it's such a mental battle every single week. I swear, I go from having a great week and I'm like, oh my God, it's so great, to another week where I'm crashing out and I'm like, yeah, I'm deleting this app today. Like, I'm done with it. I'm so done. But then what keeps me going is I try and remember why I started. Once I really started enjoying it, it was like giving back to people more so than the metrics. Sometimes we concentrate so much on the vanity metrics. And with social media, when people say things, it takes that one video. It literally takes that one video. So if you're at a point where you're like, oh, I'm done with it, I'm not getting what I need to get out of this, take a break. Like, take a break. In December, I didn't post the whole of December because I was just like, I can't bother. I feel like I've got writer's block or whatever that version
Creator's
is.
block.
Creator's block, that's it. I was like, I can't create right now. So then what I did in December is I just watched other people. I then
Okay.
started being a consumer again because I think that's what I had lost. I
Okay.
was too much
Yeah.
of I was the producer and
Yeah.
I was sitting in that seat for too long. I needed to then take in other people's content to then see
Mm.
different editing styles, see different voiceover styles, and also perfect my own craft. And
Yeah.
honestly, that December is the best thing that I ever did because as soon as I came
Really.
back, it was
Mm.
like the first video I put out. People could already
Traction.
see
Yeah,
that
you got
I
that.
had changed, I had
Yeah.
switched things up.
Mhm.
I had momentum. I wasn't feeling like, oh gosh, exactly.
Momentum.
I wasn't feeling like, oh gosh, I need to put a video out today. Like I was actually enjoying what I was doing again.
Yeah.
Whereas like by the point of like November, I was just like, I'm so tired. I don't want to do this anymore.
Mm.
So if you are feeling that way, take a break, and
Yeah.
during that break, be thinking, be strategizing whilst you're taking that break,
Mm.
and try and find that love for it again. And I think the love always comes back with content creation by watching those people that you love, because as creators we have people that we love as well that we
Yeah.
love watching too. So go back and watch those people, and I'm sure you'll come back and be like, okay, I'm ready
Yeah, I
to
can
start
do this.
posting again.
Yeah, I can do this. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I feel like because you've had like such great growth,
Hmm.
like what do you see for your journey next, or if there is a next, what do you see? What would you really desire to come about for your content creation journey?
So I think where I'm at now, so I'm under new management now.
Okay.
At the end of, was it at the end? Yeah, at the end of last year, my friend that I first started working with, we got to a point where I was like, okay, I feel like I need people that really understand the brand side of things. He
Okay.
is so good at being the brains behind it, and he's such a good friend that even though I've walked away from him and now I'm under new management, he
Mm.
will still check, like he still checks in and he'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
why don't you do this? I watch your latest video, why don't you do this? And still gives me so many ideas.
Mm.
But the new management that I'm under, they are honestly, my manager, I said to her today, I thought I was very organized. That
Mm.
woman, she blows my mind every day.
Mm.
Like we were just talking about content calendars. So each month I make a content calendar, but it's just in my notes app. And
Okay.
then she was like, "Oh, I've put one together for you." So I go and open the spreadsheet now. My jaw dropped.
Really?
My jaw dropped. I was like,
What was on the
"What?"
spreadsheet?
She's done it for
Really?
the full year. She's
What?
got it all organized. Like all I
The
need to do is go
year.
in
The
there
year's
and put.
crazy.
She's got my
Oh my
full
god.
year. All I need to go in there. So she's made it blank.
Yeah,
All I
yeah,
need to do is
yeah.
go in there and plan the content on which days I want to post. And I was like,
Mm.
oh my goodness! Like they say,
Okay.
a Rolls Royce and a Chrysler look alike until they're next to each other. That's how I felt. I was like,
Mm.
I'm not organized. I thought I was organized. I'm
No, I
not,
hear
boy.
you. There's
But
levels to this, basically.
she listen, I was blown away, but like she has got such drive and focus in terms of like the brand side of things. What I love about her is she doesn't take no for an answer. She does not take no
Mm.
for an answer. Whereas I'm someone that I'll be like, oh, okay, sure, okay, I'll come back later. Whereas if she
Yeah.
hears no, she's like, no, 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 we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
So the brand side of things is something that I'm really working on, building bigger relationships with brands,
Okay.
trying to really establish myself in that space. And I'm
Mm.
starting YouTube.
Woo! Woo! Come over to our side. Come over to our side. Our side meaning this is like my fourth week doing this, but let's go.
Listen, I'll be asking you so many things because
That's
YouTube,
amazing. But
I
you're
was
doing it
I was
already.
so against it before. When I was
Why?
with my previous
Yeah.
management, he had said, he was like, you need to start YouTube. Like, you
Yeah.
are such a yapper. You're a long
Mm.
form content person. Like, you're built for long form content.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I don't want to do YouTube. Like, I don't want to do YouTube.
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't think anyone would be interested in a full week of my life. It's interesting when I'm doing little
Segments of it.
snippets
Yeah,
of
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, oh, I don't want to do YouTube. And then when I signed with this management, one of the first conversations was YouTube. They were like, they had been watching me from afar. So they'd been watching
Okay.
me from
Yeah.
afar and they were like, why don't you have a YouTube?
Account.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I just genuinely don't think anyone's going to be interested in a full week of my life, for example, or anything else. And they were like, no.
So that's another element of like fear, because obviously our conversation today is about fear of being perceived. So
Hmm.
it's a different platform,
Hmm.
but you still have the same feelings you kind of had
Hmm.
before when you had the TikTok account,
Yeah.
which is like who's gonna actually want to watch me,
Mhm.
and who, like, long form content, that's not for me. Whereas that's the initial feelings you had for
Yeah.
TikTok as well. It was just
Yeah.
like, who wants to hear my voice? It's like, but it's worked out.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm definitely inspired because you're like, you know what, I'm gonna take the leap and I'm gonna speak
Mhm.
on my voiceovers.
Mhm.
No, I'm gonna speak on my video, sorry. And you've done that. And then you're like, now I'm gonna take the leap and do the
Oh
YouTube
gosh, this
and do the
YouTube.
long form. But it's gonna work out. I already know that for free. It's
I
gonna
hope
work
so.
out.
I
It's gonna
hope
work out.
so. Because in my head, I'm just like, who is going to watch? But then I was speaking to the owner of the agency
Mm.
on Saturday, and we were talking about YouTube again, and he was like, I've been binge watching your account, and he was like, you've got the kind of voice where I could be doing my cleaning and I would
And
love
you
to have
still
your
hear
voice in the
you.
background.
That's a compliment. I'll be real, because in this generation we love to multitask. We love it. So
Exactly.
we'll be walking, like, I do my 10K, my
Mhm.
12K steps. I love
Yeah.
listening to a podcast. I love listening to a YouTube video. I love listening to just not even just music sometimes, just
Mhm.
a voice. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can definitely relate and understand why they would just want to hear your voice. But it is, you've got something about your voice that makes someone want to listen to it more, like
Mhm.
engaged more. It's like, I don't know. I
I've
don't know
got
what
such
the
a
voice is.
monotone. I've got such a
Yeah,
level.
level one
It's just
voice.
like a level voice, and I
Yeah.
don't know. Like someone on live was like, "Why is your voice so one level?" I was like, I'm 31. What do you want me to do at this point? I can't change my voice. It's been too long. It's been too long
No, but
like
it's
this."
working for you. Like, don't change it. Your voice is perfect. It's making you. It's gonna make you money, babe. That's what it's gonna do,
We'll
and it's gonna
see.
inspire people.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. So yeah, YouTube, we've set the deadline of
Okay.
end of April for me
Next,
to
literally next month.
get a
That's
first. I know it's coming too
that is
quickly.
amazing.
So at the moment, what I've been doing at home is I'm practicing. Even if I'm not doing anything, I'll practice.
Mm,
Oh, I'm making a cup of tea, like talking
mm,
and watching other people as well. Like I get a
yeah.
lot of inspiration from other creators. So
Yeah.
I'm not a YouTube watcher, so I'm not
Okay.
someone that watches YouTube. If I'm watching YouTube, I'm watching Pop the Balloon. Like if I'm very
Same. Oh my
honest,
god. Let's
I'm
talk about
watching
that
Pop
one.
the Balloon
Yeah.
or I'm watching somebody's podcast. But in
Yeah.
terms of actual watching creators and their vlogs and things like that, I
Mm,
stopped doing that ages ago. And I used to love YouTube so
mm,
much. Like I
I
used
hear
to
you.
love all of the American makeup girlies. I'd always be
Mm,
watching them. And
mm,
then it came to a point where I stopped watching YouTube. So over the last like month or so, I've really been trying to get myself back into it and watching other people's content to see one, how they edit, what does it look like, what kind of
mm,
things do they say in a vlog, and yeah,
mm. No, it sounds amazing. I feel like you're gonna do great. I genuinely, I believe it. It's just another hurdle to cross over, but
I
you're
hope
gonna
so.
cross over it and you're gonna go do
Amen.
great. Um, well, we do want to know a little bit more about you.
Hmm.
In terms of like your relationships with your friendships. I
Hmm.
know you've spoken about friendships on your TikTok
Hmm.
before, but like, tell us, what's a good friend? How do you identify a good friend?
Oh
Because we're
gosh,
all trying to, we're still trying to work
you
out.
need to ask me if I even know. Like, you need to ask
Because
me.
let's be real, so Flora and me met at a wedding,
Hmm.
and instantly she has a great energy about her. She is a person that she is online in person, first of all, and that's really rare because yeah, some people be. But anyway, anyway, so she had this bubbly aura, and she's created this beautiful group chat for the girlies. And like, she just has an amazing aura. So for me, I'm like, it must be very easy for you to make friends, and
Hmm.
it must be easy for you to attract people that like you. But
Hmm.
is it easy to sustain those relationships? And how, what have you learned in your 31 years of being
Hmm.
on earth regarding friendships?
So with friends, I've always since since nursery, I've always been someone that I make friends really easily. Like my mum used
Mm,
to say she'd come and get me, and now I'd have a new friend. Like all the time, I'd
yeah,
have a new friend, and she's like, "Dad," or I'd go to the park. I'm coming home with a friend.
yeah.
So it's always been very easy for me to make friends. I've always been someone that I enjoy being around people. I'm definitely an
Extrovert,
extrovert.
yeah.
I definitely get my energy from being around people, and
Mm-hmm.
I just love being around people. But I think as of recent, well, as of last year, I went through friendship breakups. It was
Oh,
multiple that I
multiple.
didn't. Oh gosh, it was
The
a mess.
heart, the
It was
heart.
a mess. I went through friendship breakups that really made me reassess how I see friendship,
Mhm.
because I'm the sort of person that if I'm your friend, you're
Yeah.
there's no boundaries there. Like there's no
Mm.
boundaries to like what you can get from me. I'm like, you're my friend,
Mhm.
why not? Like, of course you
Mhm.
can do that. Like,
Yeah.
but then what happens is then what I've realized is that people really do take things for granted, and people, not everybody has the same heart as you
Exactly.
is one
Yeah.
thing. And I like, I say I've got good discernment, but then I'll turn around and be like, actually, I was really naive in that situation, because
Mm.
I love to give people the benefit of the doubt. If I've heard from somebody else, oh, she's this way, da, da, da,
Yeah.
da, 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 I'm not gonna take that as fact.
Mm.
Until I meet you myself. I want to make my own judgment,
Judgment. Yeah. Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than taking what other people have said. But unfortunately, with people, if you give them the benefit of the doubt, they're always going to deliver that doubt. They're always going to deliver the
I
doubt. It's so
know.
sad.
Yeah, I hear
It's
you.
so
Oh
sad. But
God.
then, even though like I've had a lot of friends in my lifetime and I've seen a lot of
Mm.
friends come and go, and I think
Mm.
with each friend I learn more about myself. So I would like
Yeah.
to say I'm now in a space where I'm really sure of myself.
Mm.
I really know who my friends are.
Mm.
I'm so scared saying this because I've said this before, and then boy, um,
No, but
but I feel like yeah,
live it out, because at the
yeah,
end of the day, like you said, you're learning more about yourself, and
mhm,
that's what is important.
mhm.
So even if you, God forbid though, if you incur
I
any
can't,
form of
I
like
can't take
friendship
anymore.
heartbreak
I
again,
can't take
honestly,
anymore.
it's too painful. Like if you do incur any of that again, like you would know what to do regarding
Mhm,
yourself, because I definitely agree with you. The more assured I become of myself,
mhm,
the more I'm able to set boundaries with myself. Not the people like you, I do
mhm.
resonate with. I can give you the world, like
Yeah,
as in the world of my own world. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Whatever I can give you, I will do. I will do
Mhm,
100% to my capacity.
mhm,
But then if like I feel like at any point you're just you don't care enough about me, it doesn't even have to be reciprocal. It just
mhm.
means that I'm not sensing that same energy from you, or like that same care.
Exactly.
Then I have to retract instead of
Mhm.
giving you that benefit of the doubt. Like
Exactly.
now we're done with that.
That's exactly where I'm at, because I don't think like no two people are going to be here.
Yeah.
So like if I'm able to do X, Y, and Z for you, it does not
Hmm.
now mean when it's your turn to do for me, I expect that exact thing. No,
Yeah,
do
exactly.
what's within
Your
your means
capacity.
in
Yeah.
like what you can do for me.
Mm.
I will appreciate it tenfold, because
Mm.
you've thought of me, because you've taken your time out to make me feel special in whatever way.
Hmm.
But I just got to a point where it was like, some people are just so damn entitled. It's like,
Mm.
wow, some people
Give
are
us an
just
example
so
without airing out
damn,
your whole business.
oh God. So it's like, so I had a friend who, when I then sat and reassessed everything that had happened, it was
Mm.
all down to entitlement. So
Okay.
it got to a point where it was like, so one thing, she had asked to, it was an important day for
Mm.
her, and we were all going as friends. Prior to the day coming, she had to abruptly return to like her parents' house, and
Mhm.
she didn't have many things with her when she did that.
Mhm.
So she didn't have any makeup with her. So she had messaged me prior to that and said, oh, hey, can I borrow your makeup
Mhm.
for X, Y, and Z day? I said, yeah, no problem. But
Okay.
as things go, and as someone in a relationship, men are so like, they will irritate you at the wrong time. So the
Mm.
night before, me and Shorty Wop, as he's called online, me and Shorty Wop
Yeah.
now had an argument, and I was not in the mood. I was not in the mood. The mood in the
Mm.
house was not in the mood either. It was just
I hear
icy.
you. I
It's
know
like
them.
me
I
and you
know
are
those.
passing each other, but we're not speaking. It's
I
mad
know those
icy.
moods. I know those
And
moods.
it's like, you yourself, you're going through stuff, and I'm very aware you're
Mm.
going through stuff.
Mhm.
I don't want to now bring you into an icy environment. So what she was
Mhm.
planning to do is come to my house and use my makeup there. I text her
Okay.
very early in the morning, and I was like, look, you can't come and do your makeup here because you know, it's just icy. But I'll come
Yeah.
to you. I'll come to your parents' house and I'll drop it to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She now catches an attitude about it because I've
But you're
thrown.
still providing the makeup.
So granted, at the time, her emotions were very high because of what she
Okay.
was going through.
Okay.
But it's like, I've said to you, I will still bring you the makeup. And then she was like, oh, but I wanted to travel to the event with you. Mind you, she hadn't told me that that was her plan, you know.
Okay.
And at
Yeah.
that point, I was going through additional things that I hadn't told anybody. So I
Okay.
had an
Yeah.
appointment that I was going to go to during that time. So then I was like, okay, do you know what? I'll drop you the makeup. You do your makeup. I'll go back, do what I need to do. And then I'll come back and get you.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, nothing. Did not reply to me, nothing. So then
Yeah.
later on, I then get to the event, and the event was for like her family. I get to the event, I hear from someone else, oh, she's not coming to the event. So then I was like, oh, like, you know, is it because I actually asked, is it because of the makeup situation? And then the person's like, no, 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 it's not because of that or
Okay.
whatever. So I'm none the wiser until, like, let's say a good 4 months later, that it was because
Oh
of the makeup
no.
situation. That's why she didn't come. And I'm like,
Oh.
okay, fine. And I was very sad about that because even though I couldn't let you do it in that way, I still
Yeah.
provided an alternative. But I feel like now that when I reflect upon it, I'm like, sis, you've never come to me to be like, oh, here's a concealer, here's a like the
Yeah.
way you're acting is like we
Yeah.
both put half and
And
bought
put
that
that
makeup,
makeup.
and now I'm saying you can't use it. The way she acted
Yeah.
towards it, and then I then started looking at like other patterns of behavior within that friendship, and there was always such entitlement where it's like
Okay.
anytime I couldn't do for
Deliver.
her,
Yeah.
or like I had to find an alternative because of other things, there was never any grace given. It
Okay.
was never anything like, you know, considering I've done so much for you, whenever it's something so small as like makeup, like this is what happened. Mind you,
Yeah.
the event, I didn't even wear makeup to the event, you know. So it wasn't even like I've showed up with a
Really?
beat face and I'm rubbing it in
Yeah,
your face or
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't wear any makeup to the event. Like I
Wow.
wasn't planning. That's why I was like, I can give you my whole makeup bag.
Yeah.
I was not planning to wear makeup to the event. But it's not
Yeah.
like I was coming with a beat face, all of that stuff. And then I was like, wow, people can
Okay.
be really entitled. Like you can do so many things for somebody. You can say yes 1,000 times. That one time you say no is what
That's
you
it.
always be
Yeah.
held to. And what I've realized is that I can't be friends with people like that. I actually cannot be friends with people. Once I see that somebody is very entitled, now I'm like,
I hate you.
take a
You're
step
backing
back. Like,
away.
I'm still
Yeah.
gonna be cool with you or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
but
yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of us becoming close,
Or investing your heart into that person
I,
again. You're not
I'm
doing
not
that.
doing it. Like
I
I
get
am
that.
not doing it
I get
because
that.
me, I'm very much a daddy's girl. I'm a proper daddy's girl. So I don't like the
Yeah.
word no. I don't like being told no myself. But I'm not entitled. Like when it
Yeah,
comes to
yeah,
my friends,
yeah.
I will never look at your thing and be like, yeah, that's mine.
That's
And
mine
if you say
now.
no, all hell's
Yeah,
gonna break.
that's
No.
wild. That's really wild. I do get the whole thing of like not having a boundaries with your friend because when it gets to the stage of like, oh, we're close or we've known each other this long or da, 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 there's over familiarity and that's what comes
100%.
about. And obviously that's
100%.
where she should be doing this or she should be doing that
Yeah.
or
Like, you know,
you
I'm
never
going
you
through
don't
stuff. You
treat them,
shouldn't be doing this.
you
Yeah.
no longer treat them as their individual self, a
Yeah.
person that has
Yeah.
their own feelings and thoughts. You now think this Flora and me,
Mm-hmm.
it should be what it is. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It should be I get what I want. So
Mm-hmm.
I completely get that. I feel like I've experienced that. I've experienced friendship heartbreak, but that will
And
be.
it's so sad because
Mm,
when you're young and you're going through whatever, you think, oh yeah, when I'm older, I won't have these friendship problems. I'm so sorry. I hate to break the news to you. I swear to God, as you get older, it gets worse. It gets worse because
mm,
at least in school, you might fall out. Oh, I don't know. She broke my pencil. I can't even remember what kind of
yeah,
friendship
I
dramas I
know.
used to have in school. But
Yeah.
like
It's
once
like you're not
you
coming to
get,
the bus stop with me. You're
yeah,
not going
yeah,
to the shopping center with
yeah.
me, or like, do you
I
know
asked
what I
you to come
mean?
cinema, you're not
Yeah,
coming. Like, that's
exactly.
why I'm upset. Like, the things I
Yeah.
hear my sisters, because I've got little sisters, the
Okay.
things that I hear they're upset about. Like, the other day, my sister was upset because her friend was standing way too close to her and she wouldn't move. And I was like,
Oh,
out of
their
all the
problems
things.
again. Yeah.
And I was like, these are really year 6 problems, you know, because it was a big problem for her, you know. But I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. But then once you get to your 30s or like even in your
Adulting,
20s,
yeah.
once you're adulting
Mm.
and you guys aren't here anymore, like
Mm.
things, people aren't
Everyone
doing
is like
things,
here. Yeah.
everyone is
Almost
doing
here.
things
Yeah.
at different paces. It
Mm.
is so sad, but that's what brings the most drama. That's
Yeah.
what brings the most drama. Like you lot not being on the same like page, not even on the same page. I don't even know, level playing field.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
what will
Yeah.
bring the most
Mm.
drama. And oh, it's so sad.
No, I hear
It's so
you.
sad.
I do hear you. I'm so sorry that you've gone through that, but I do think that the less of a crowd you have that's not solid, the better it
Hmm.
is for yourself and your well-being.
Absolutely.
And like the more at peace you are, even though like you said you love a good crowd, and like I
Hmm.
can definitely resonate with that.
Hmm.
I like to describe myself as ambivert because I am and
Yeah.
can be extroverted, but I am
Hmm.
very introverted and I do like my space,
Hmm.
and I need time to process stuff alone. So
Hmm.
I feel like I'm the middle, and I can definitely, if you're my person,
Hmm.
oh, we can do this all
Yeah.
day. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like, yeah, I get drained from energy quick.
Hmm.
So I can definitely understand that. But regarding like your well-being, babe,
Hmm.
you shared on your TikTok about
Oh gosh, last year was a roller coaster.
you're crushing, you're crushing health issues, and I, I was like, no, this girl's not going through all of this. Looking like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
you look $1,000,000. You look gorgeous online. I said to God, you look gorgeous online. And then to hear that you've gone through all these
Hmm.
issues,
Hmm.
like a near cancer scare. Oh my
Listen,
God, that's terrifying.
listen. When the day my doctor called me, so basically, like I've always got this thing. I always say, I will not look like what I'm going through. I will be
Amen.
going through hell. Like I will be
Mm,
going through hell, but I'll not look like it because that's when
mm.
people then really want to know what's going on with her. So I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna look good through this. But
Mm,
with my health, so for ages, I
mm.
knew something wasn't right. Like
Yeah.
I just knew something was not right because it was a thing where it was like if I sat down for too long and then I stand up, I would be dizzy. And I was like,
Mhm,
okay, I've always been low iron, like, there's
mhm,
quite a few people that talk about that. But when I realized things really, really weren't right, is like if I sit down for too long, my legs then go dead. So I have to stay
mm.
where I am at until my legs and my brain start talking. So
Yeah.
literally, I would not be able to move my legs. So then
Mm.
that's
So is
when
that pins and needles, or is it just more like
it
numbness?
it just felt like I was almost like momentarily
Paralyzed.
paralyzed. Like I
Okay.
just couldn't move.
Mm.
So then at first I kept it to myself, but then it's only so long you can keep these things to yourself. When other people
Yes.
started noticing, and
Mm-hmm.
when my colleagues started noticing, because I don't go
Mm-hmm.
into the office that often, but then I went
Yeah.
into the office one time and then it happened. And then my colleague was like, is everything okay? And like proper
Yeah.
sat me down and did all of that. So then when I went home, spoke to Shorty Wop about it because he had seen like the full thing and had seen, but he's always joked with me that I'm such a lightheaded person. I'm always lightheaded.
Mm.
But then once it got, he was like, yeah, you need to now
Check this
actually
out.
go
Yeah.
to the doctor and start checking yourself. So then when I first went to the GP, they'll just palm you off. They were just palming me off.
Oh
They were like,
gosh.
oh, you just need to eat more, you're not eating enough, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
yeah.
It was this old white man that I was seeing, and he was just like, yeah, you're just not eating enough. Just try and take in more calories, try and drink more water, all of that stuff. No blood test, no nothing. Wasn't checking nothing.
Oh
And
gosh.
then
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
okay,
They want you on your deathbed. Sorry, G.
honestly,
NHS, please. You guys want us on our deathbed.
like
Sorry.
he was just like, he had no time. And you know now how you can only say one issue when you go to the GP, you can only say one issue in one appointment. So I was just like,
They got tired.
okay, cool. So then I went and started doing my own research,
Yeah,
started
good.
Googling things. And one of my really good friends, she has MS.
Okay.
And she, like, the leg numbness is something that she had spoken to me about like plenty of times,
Mhm.
and like different symptoms where it was like tingling feeling, like you might sit for long and then like your hands and feet start tingling. I then started to get
Mm.
that. So then I then approached her and I was like, oh, these are the symptoms that I'm having. And she was
Mhm.
like, have they done this test, have they done that test, just reeling off bare tests. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, he just told me to eat more. So then she was like, if you don't go and get yourself back to the doctor and take this
Honestly.
seriously. So then
Yeah.
even after that, I left it. And then again, it happened again. And then one time, I basically fainted. It wasn't a full, like on the floor. That's when I was like, okay, no, I'm going back. This time, when I went to the GP, I got a junior doctor. And when I got a junior doctor, I was thinking, oh, she's not going to take me seriously. But then as soon as I started telling her everything, she was proper, like, intently listening, taking notes. And I wasn't just saying my one thing. She was allowing me to say everything. I was really getting everything out.
Yeah.
And she had a senior doctor that she would then go to. And she was like, you know, I'm going to pop out for a bit because everything, she was like, I'll be honest, everything you've told me does sound quite serious. And yeah, I need to go and get a second opinion on this. So then that's when she then went to go and speak to this lady. And she is, she's Nigerian. So already that made me start feeling better. I'm like, okay, another black woman, she will hopefully take me seriously. So then straight away, they pulled a report for me to go and do full blood work, all organs, all of that. Go and do it. And they were like, go and do it today. Like, go there today. And I was like, these people are scaring me.
Yeah.
Like, go and do it today.
You went from the old white man saying,
that was
go
eat more.
Go eat calories, go eat more.
Go eat a burger, you'll be fine.
To these guys saying, today, you have to go. Like,
they were like, go now.
Oh my God.
So then I went, did the blood test. They were like, at the blood test place, they were like, oh, you'll probably hear back within like 10 days or something like that. I kid you not. The following day, I got a text message saying, we are going to call you tomorrow.
Oh, hell. That would have my heart drop.
I didn't sleep. I did not sleep. I was like, what do you think they're going to come and tell me? Like, what do you think they'll possibly say? And one of my friends, she's a GP.
Oh,
so then I went to her and I was like, if a GP texts you saying this, what am I dying? And she was like, I won't lie, it's not good news. It's probably not going to be good news. Probably not going to be news that you want to hear. But you're not dying right now. She was like, you're not going to die right now. Like, you're not about to collapse.
I'm dying right now. Like, thank you.
She was like, you're not about to collapse. Because she was like, there's been appointments where I've had to call the ambulance for them to get the person immediately. And she was like, and if it was a thing where it's like your blood work came back and you were literally on the brink of dying, they would have called you immediately. It wouldn't be a text message situation. So then, obviously, I didn't sleep. They then called me the next day to be like, oh, we're really sorry, there's an emergency, she's not in or whatever. And I'm like, you people, you said you're going to call me straight away. Now you're calling me to tell me there's an emergency. You can't tell me. But now I'm thinking I'm going to die.
That would have me.
Because it was a Friday. So then I had to go through the whole weekend. And then now the Monday was coming. I was like, okay, I'm sure I'm going to get the call on the Monday. The Monday, I had a laser appointment. I am in the laser appointment. Sorry, this is gonna be so graphic. I was in the laser appointment, ass out, everything, spreading my cheeks. But that is so.
Tell it, girl. Tell it. We need to know. I need to know your laser lady. That can come true.
Honestly, ass out, everything. And then I see that my GP's calling me. And then I was like, oh, she was like, should I continue? And I was like, yeah, you continue what you're doing. I'll have the phone call. And then she calls me and then she was like, oh, you know, are you in a place where you can talk? And I was like, kinda, you know, go ahead. And she starts talking. And she was like, so the long and short of it is that your iron is critically low. She was like, it's critically low. She was like, I don't understand how you're able to do anything with this much of iron. Like, she was like, even me prescribing you iron tablets now wouldn't do a thing. Like, it wouldn't do anything. You're not going to feel any better by me. And the way I knew my iron was low is because I had developed, what's the name of it? Pica. I developed pica. So pica is when you start craving objects. Like, you want to eat. You want to eat things that are not food.
Really?
So I wanted to eat baby powder. I wanted, I was eating baby powder in secret. This is gonna be the first time. If Chewy watches guys, if he watches this, he's gonna get an answer on the baby powder. Because one day he saw me and I had like it around my mouth, and he's like, "Why are you putting baby powder on your face?" I was like, "Oh, my God, because I've been eating baby powder in secret.
Oh
So,
my God.
and when I Googled, why am I craving baby powder? They were like, the
Yeah.
first thing was like, you might be pregnant. I was like, with all my problems, you're coming to add a
Yeah,
baby?
yeah,
Like, what?
exactly.
It can't be that. And then I
Mm,
saw that the next one is because your iron's probably
no,
critically low. So
yeah.
as soon as she said that, I was like, oh my God, that makes so
Mm,
much sense. And then she was like, and another thing, we found inflammation in your organs.
yeah.
She was like, we're not sure which organs they are.
Mm,
And I think it's got a direct link to why you're losing blood, well,
yeah.
why you're not retaining iron.
Mhm,
So then she reeled off the list of things she was going to send me for.
mhm.
She was like, first things first, you need to have a transfusion ASAP.
Okay,
Like you
blood
need to have it
transfusion. Okay,
like
yeah.
ASAP.
Mhm.
Um, so then she tried to book me into a local hospital, but I was like, I'm not going to that hospital. There's so many horror stories about that hospital. I'm not going to that hospital.
Mm,
And she was like, this is really serious. Like, I need you to go ASAP and you're telling me that you don't want to
mm,
go to. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I'll hold it down. If anything, I'll just make sure I'm at home. I'll eat more greens, all of that stuff. Get me to another
yeah,
hospital. So then she managed to put me into another hospital for me to
yeah.
have a transfusion. I think it was maybe like a week or a couple weeks later. Um, for me to go and have that transfusion. And then on top of that, she sent me to do a whole bunch of scans. One of them was like a full womb scan because she was like, is it possible that it's my periods that are causing all of this?
Mm.
So then when I say this was the most intrusive thing, it was like a smear test basically, but like they've got this long wand that they
Oh, I've
really go in there.
used that. Sorry, I've used it. I've had that. I've had that.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had that.
went in there looking for
Yeah,
everything. And then when you ask her, like, mind you, I've been told there's something wrong, but they're still looking at it. You've just
yeah,
had a look around. I'm asking you. I asked her, I was like, oh, what did you see? And she did an
yeah,
ultrasound as well. So I was
yeah.
like, what did you see? And she's like, oh, your GP will tell you.
I hated that. I had to wait for like 4 weeks for that. So I know what you're
I
saying. Yeah.
was like,
Mhm. Mhm.
even the first appointment I had with those people, actually, I was 1 minute late. They said, no, you have to rebook it. I was like, nah. You couldn't let me off 1 minute. And it's because I
You
couldn't
can't make
find my
this
way out
up.
of the car park.
No, that's crazy.
She was
Don't
like, nah,
take
you
me
need
on
to
this.
rebook it. So then when I managed to rebook it and then I went, and that's when she was like, oh, your GP will tell you. And then
Stress.
from there, I then had to, they started to narrow it down. So that came back and everything was fine. She was like, no, there's no problems here. We didn't see any like endometriosis or anything like that. Like
Okay,
everything is
good.
fine.
Mhm.
And then they were like, then they narrowed it down to be inflammation in my bowel. So
Mhm.
then with my bowel, I've got a long history of tummy problems. I've got a
Mhm.
long history of tummy problems. So all of my tummy problems started back in 2019, where
Mhm.
at that point I was traveling 2.5 hours to work, 2.5 hours back because I was working all the way in Watford. Um,
Oh.
and I hated that job. I hated that job.
Is
I
that a
did
daily
like
commute?
daily commute. I hated the
Wow.
commute. I just hated
That's
everything about it.
insane.
I just felt like
Yeah.
they were treating me really unfairly, like everything. So I was very stressed. So
Mm.
that then started stomach problems for me. And the stomach problems, oh my God, like it got to a point where I could go to the toilet 20 times a day.
Oh
Like I
wow.
would be going to the toilet 20 times a day
Oh my
and
God.
it just was not stopping to the point where some
Yeah.
days I couldn't leave my house because I knew I would need the
Yeah.
toilet. So back then they had done like all of the scans, I'd done a colonoscopy, all of that stuff, and then
Mm.
that's when they ruled it out and then eventually told me I've got something called duodenitis, which is inflammation of the duodenum. So it's like the little bit near your large intestine. So
Okay.
essentially that bit would get swollen and then
Mm.
food was like coming out of it. So I didn't have ulcers, but then it's like food would be able, and that's what was causing me to go
So
to
how
the
it would
toilet so
naturally,
much.
yeah, so it would naturally go through your intestines and
Hmm.
like get
Hmm.
I don't know science, please, guys,
Honestly,
but
even me
but
explaining it, I'm probably wrong with how I explained
no,
it, but yeah,
but so it wouldn't travel like that, and then it wouldn't naturally do what it needs to do. Basically, it would
exactly.
just be
Exactly. It would
okay.
just be doing whatever
Whatever
it
it was,
wanted.
yeah.
Whatever it wanted. So back then they were able to give me tablets to calm the inflammation. and then after that they completely were like, you need to change your diet, you need to change your diet
Mm,
completely. So from
mm,
like 2020, that's when I was like, yeah, I need, especially after lockdown, I was like, I need to get serious about losing weight, I need to get serious about eating properly, because now I'm actually
mm,
sick because of food. So then that's when I lost so much weight during that time. So then now we're back here again, and again I'm hearing that it's linked to my bowels again. And
mm,
I lost a close friend to bowel cancer. So then, and during
mm.
that time, we'd spoken a lot about like our tummy issues when she was trying to figure out
Yeah.
what was going on, when I was trying to figure out what was going on. So then to hear it again, I was like, am I
It's a
gonna
trigger.
be so lucky in the sense of, are they gonna turn around again and say that it's because of IBS, or is it this time I'm actually going to hear this? So
Mm,
then I had to do stool samples. I did the first stool sample, comes back inconclusive. I'm like, hey.
mm.
It just
It
keeps
just,
getting worse. I was like,
mm.
it just keeps getting worse. Why can't I catch a
Yeah,
break?
honestly.
So then at that point, I also needed another transfusion, went in for my other transfusion, and it was getting closer to my birthday, and we were traveling to Thailand. I come in for the
Mm,
transfusion, and they were like, well, some of the iron has taken from last time, but it hasn't stuck.
mm,
So we're gonna give you another one, and then we need you to come back in for another one, like literally a couple days later. But I was like,
wow.
I can't come in a couple days later because I'm going on holiday. The doctor was like, I'm so sorry, you're going to have to cancel that trip. Like, you can't go on that trip.
Wow. Oh my
I
God.
was so upset. I was
I
so
would have been
upset.
heartbroken as
I
well.
was just like, are you kidding me? Like, you're telling me I'm going to spend my birthday in the hospital. Like, are you actually kidding me? So then,
Oh, that's terrible.
I like they did some tests, and I like, you'd spend the whole day in the hospital whilst this is going on. You spend the whole day just waiting for a
Mm,
different test to come back. Then I had my transfusion, and then he came to then come and talk to me. At that point, I was thinking, I didn't even talk to you. You just told me I can't go anywhere. He came back and he
mm.
was like, "Do you know what? It's fine. You can go on
Whew.
your trip.
Oh my
Like,
gosh,
looking at things,
yes.
you can go. But
Mm,
obviously be very careful. Take iron tablets with you. Just monitor how you are. If you do feel unwell at any point, please just
mm,
get to the nearest like hospital there. And
yeah.
then when you get back, we'll book you in for another one. Like, you'll come back in and you'll have another one." So I was like, oh, thank God, finally some kind of good news.
Yeah.
Um, Came back, went to Thailand, came back, had that uh transfusion. All of my friendship problems then also started
Oh
happening.
goodness.
The
Like you
friendship is like, because at that point they didn't know, none, like the only
okay.
people that knew the extent of what was going on was my cousin and my best friend. They were the only people who had actually spoken to properly and said, and
Mm,
even um the word cancer, I think I'd only said it to my cousin. I hadn't even said it properly to my best friend. I was just like, oh,
really?
things aren't looking good.
Yeah.
um so they didn't know. But then it's like, it's so crazy the way people will perceive you. Like, even people that know you, like, they would rather make their own judgment
Judgments
based
and
on what they
assumptions.
can see
Yeah.
on social media versus
Mm,
actually just picking up the phone and saying da 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 da. So little did I know, the same
yeah.
friends that I was saying one of them was entitled or
Mm,
whatever, they
mm-hmm.
were doing a whole bitching session talking about, oh yeah, she never goes through anything. Look, she's just posted a whole PR unboxing on her story. Have you seen it? Da, 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 da. I found out about this through somebody else.
Yeah.
You know the PR unboxing they were talking about? I posted that from hospital. I'd filmed it prior because I was like, oh, I know I'm going to be
Yeah.
in hospital all day tomorrow. Usually when I go, I'm there for like a good 6 hours. So I was like, I'm going to be in
Yeah.
hospital all day tomorrow. So I'm going to film this stuff. And then whilst I'm there, this will keep me entertained. I'll be doing this whilst I'm there.
Yeah. Like editing it
And I
and
was
stuff.
like, you see, this is why you can't take what you see on social media as this is what's going on in someone's life. Yes, I was
Exactly.
posting brands and saying, oh, thank you, da,
Mm,
da, da, thank you for
mm-hmm,
this.
mm-hmm.
But child, I was doing that from the comfort of the
Of a
hospital
hospital
chair.
bed. Honestly.
That's what I was doing. But
Mm.
yeah, so then during that time,
I'm
I'm
so
still
sorry you went
waiting.
by through that, by the way,
Oh,
because like the idea that people are sitting down having a conversation about nothing that they actually know about
mm-hmm,
regarding your life
mm-hmm.
and making assumptions, and like I can just hear it like Chinese. I can just hear them being like, "Oh, yeah, she must be fine, she's good,
It was
and them just
so
validating their own selves, like it's an echo
bad.
chamber
Like, it
of
was
just
so bad. And it was at a point where it was like I had the transfusion, and then the next day I had a brand event to go to. And I was fine to go to the brand event, went to the brand event, and then one of them texted me something, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I went ballistic. I went ballistic. Like, I'd held my mouth for so long, waiting for. Obviously, I could tell there was an issue. I could tell there was an issue amongst those friends, but no one was being direct with it. And I'm a very direct person. Like,
yeah,
honestly, it's only so long that I can have an issue with someone
yeah,
and not speak to them about it.
yeah, literally.
Max I can hold it is a week. And you're gonna hear about
No,
it.
no, I
Like,
hear
it's
you.
not gonna.
I do hear you. I'm the
Ah,
same in terms of like I need to know what the problem is now, so we can deal with it, so we can move on. That's it.
exactly.
That's it.
So I've tried to approach this person to have this conversation. You've said to me you don't have the mental capacity to talk about it, da, 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 all of that stuff.
No,
Cool, that is
that's a
fine.
trigger for
You were
me. I'll be
going
real.
through a lot.
Yeah.
That is fine. But it's like, you lot are there making your own judgments of da 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 da. So then she texts me something, and I completely lost it. And then I was like, and then in that point, I revealed that I'd been sick, and I revealed about the hospital and da 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 in that message.
Yeah.
And after I finished my crash out, I was just like, oh,
Why
because
did
I
I give
really
them that?
did not want to tell them. I so
Yeah.
did not want to tell them.
Because they're like,
But
at this point, you're not even deserving of my energy or to know what's going on with me.
and you were already
it's
gossiping
invalid.
about everything.
Yeah.
Now I'm giving you further gossip to add to your gossip. It's like, the gist is even heating up. Like, now I could call someone, hey, you know she's been in hospital too. Like, damn, the gist is heating.
Oh,
And I was just like,
hell.
why did I say that? But I'm so glad I had that crash out. I'm so glad I had that crash out, because it was enough. Like,
Yeah,
please.
no, I completely
I have
get
my
you.
own stuff going on. Yes, I'm
100%.
texting you whilst I'm on the way to the brand event or whatever, but it's like, I've still got to get to work. Like, I've still got to
Exactly.
work. Whatever's going on there, God will carry me. It will, as long as I feel fit enough and I don't feel unwell to be there, I'm gonna
You're
go.
gonna go, yeah.
So then after that, I think that was the same weekend, like, I had like a little birthday party at mine with my friends, and then there was like one of them there where she had been involved in all of that drama. I did not know that that weekend was going to change my life forever. So when I had that birthday party with them, that's when I revealed, because of the unnecessary crash out that I had, I knew that that person's mouth is just loose. So I knew, you lot already probably already know that I'm sick. You already probably even know, but let me just tell you so that you hear it from my point of view, and it's not somebody else narrating my problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me control my own story. So then I told them, I haven't been very well. I'm still waiting for test results to come back. Like, I don't have clear answers to give you. So, just bear with me. When I do hear, I will make sure I update you lot on what's going on and the reality of the situation. So then that's when that life-changing weekend then came about, and madness. And then eventually, let's say maybe we were then into, I want to say it was in September. I want to say it was in September that I finally was able to do a proper stool assessment again. Because any time I was coming to come and do it, there was a reason why I couldn't do it. There was like one point where I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to do it. But you can't do an assessment when your period comes.
Okay.
You can't do it whilst you're on your period.
There's
literally like, there's a certain window that you have to do it within. So then finally did another one. That went off to them. And then you call for the results. When I say my heart was beating, you call after 3 p.m. for a result. I swear to God, at 2:59, I was calling. I was like, I need to know what is going on. And then when I called, she was like, yeah, it came back. Like, it's actually, she was like, the inflammation's gone. We didn't see anything in your stools. Like,
amazing.
everything's gone. But I believe that the doctor does still want to have you in, just to double check everything and then all of that. But those words, I was like, what a roller coaster these past 6 months have been. Like, because it went on for 6 good months.
That is a long time.
It's like, what a roller coaster this has been. And to hear you say those words, like, honestly, like, the way I was screaming on the phone, she was even like, I'm so happy for you. It was like, yeah, I was like, oh my God, like I'm actually okay.
You're good.
Yeah. And I'm like, do you see, you pack up bad people. In August, I packed them all up. It was a whole Rico case, this friendship breakup, by the way. So I packed up about 8 people and was like, all of you, please respectfully don't contact me again.
Hey.
And then it's like, I get rid of all of these people and they're naysaying and da-da-da-da-da. And then like things start happening, things that I've been wanting to happen start happening, because that time period really showed me that no matter what you have in life, you can have all the money in the world, you can have this, you can have that. Your health,
If you don't
when they
have your
say health
health
is
as well,
wealth,
they mean it. Yeah, it's
health
important.
is wealth. As soon as you get sick, it puts the brakes on so many things. And during that time, I was watching one of my friends really deteriorate from a battle that she'd been having for such a long time. And like even the small things that have been taken away from her, just like even try like giving people hugs, she wasn't able to hug people because she was in so much pain, she physically couldn't hug people anymore. So when they say health is wealth, like they're not joking, they are not joking. And I don't think you realize that until you get to a point where it was like, because in my head I was really in my head like, okay, so if preparing myself, if this is what I hear, how is this gonna look, how is that gonna look? I then started checking, is my life insurance in place, are things like, you know, I had even gone back, made sure my beneficiaries were all okay, checked all my policies that I've got to make sure, does it cover this, does it cover this, like how am I gonna do this and this, like proper preparing for the worst. But that's me in a nutshell. I'm always preparing for the worst.
We will not have that
Yeah,
anymore in Jesus'
I
name.
need to be more
You need to be
positive.
more
I need to be more
optimistic.
positive.
And from that, I feel like the fact that it was a positive outcome goes to show that that's a testament for you to take on now. Like moving forward, your health is gonna be the wealthiest part of you.
Amen. I really
Okay.
hope so. That's why this year
Honestly.
I was like, nope, I need to get on my 10K steps. During that whole time, I love going to Pilates so much. During that whole time, all of last year, I couldn't go to Pilates. I just didn't have the energy to do it. So this year I was like, nope, that's
Your
the
Pilates
first
on
thing I'm doing.
Monday?
I was
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. I'm back in. I'm back in. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm so grateful for you sharing your story today. Like I feel so like inspired. I feel like I know you so much more.
Oh.
I feel like yeah, you will not be disappointed in me, girl, honestly.
Oh.
And I'm just so grateful and I hope the viewers have actually like taken something from it. I hope you guys love Flora as much as I do because is an amazing girl, as you can see. And honestly, just thank you so much
No.
for viewing, for just coming and sitting with me. Do
No,
you know what I
of course,
mean?
I
Because I feel
really
like this is
enjoyed
just a
this. Like, literally,
lovely
it's just us on the
yapper.
sofa chatting.
Literally.
Listen,
So no, honestly, thank you so much. That is the end of Momentum Podcast. Thank you guys for viewing, and hopefully you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next week. Thank you.